Okay, so our day starts at right around 8:45, and we start with some breakfast for all of the kids. And on this day, I decided to eat some breakfast too. Usually I just drink some coffee. Then we clean up the breakfast mess really quickly. I usually just wipe down the table. We throw the dishes in the sink, wipe down the counter, and that's it. We will come back to this mess later with our afternoon chores. So we just need to wipe things down enough to kind of move on with our day. And what we are doing is starting with language arts or math. We don't do both every day. We kind of do 3 days of one and 3 days of the next. And today was a language arts day. Right now we're working on these worksheets. We talked about metaphors yesterday, and so today we're talking about similes, and so that's what we're working on. And we also use this Everything You Need to Ace English book as kind of like a textbook. Now, during this point, sometimes Dorothy's with us at the table and sometimes she isn't. On this day in particular, she just wanted to play in the living room on 2 of our nuggets. And so I just let her, and we will come back and do some time with her later. It's not very exciting for her to be at the table when the boys are doing something like language arts. It's just not a fun time. So you can see our daily rhythm on the board here. We've had our breakfast. The boys have done their morning responsibilities, and we are on our language arts now. Their morning responsibilities are just to be dressed, brush their teeth, pick up their room, and make their beds. And there's Dorothy in her little ballerina leotard. Just having a good old time. We don't typically have the TV on either, and you could see like it is a distraction. But on this particular day, I had it on for Sullivan. So we're going to get started with our botany lesson now that we've had our snack, and these are the books for today that we're going through. And I just have in my lesson plan there, you can see on the clipboard underneath the books on the left, I just write down what pages I want to do for the day. So we're going to get started right away. We have this fungi poem, and I had both of the boys read it out loud. I feel like it's good for them to read poetry and read aloud. We're finishing up our day with an activity, and today that activity was a writing activity. So they're copying this writing, and they're going to also draw a picture. Now I move on to doing some stuff with Dorothy. And for her, I just kind of printed out a variety of preschool worksheets that kind of had a botany theme to them. And so we have this little banana science investigation. And so we're going to go through this kind of quickly. We did some of the worksheets out of this sort of packet already. But like this morning, she ate a banana, so she was able to say what she thought of the taste and all of that. So anyway, so our first little thing here is kind of a science experiment. So I'm asking her if the banana is going to sink or float. She actually guessed that it was going to sink, and then now she's putting it in the water, and she's seeing that, it floated. And so that was really exciting for her to see. Also, ignore my laundry. I was kind of also folding laundry here and there today, back there on the coffee table. So these are like the instructions, which obviously I didn't really need because self-explanatory to see if it sinks or floats. So here's a little worksheet that goes with it. Now, I don't remember where I got these from. I'm sure it says it on the bottom of the worksheet. So I doubt I paid very much for it, if at all. But I love Teachers Pay Teachers. I always Google search or search Pinterest for worksheets that have a preschool theme for Dorothy, or I even do it for my boys too. But I love Teachers Pay Teachers. I love to buy stuff off of there whenever I'm looking for something kind of specific like this. I will totally make my own worksheets from time to time too. She asked me here, how do I make it curve like a banana? So I was just kind of showing her how to do that. And then we moved on after that to this other little experiment, which is what will the skin of a banana look like after a week? So she had to color her prediction of what she thought the banana was going to look like in a week. And then we put our banana on our plate in a spot in our kitchen so that we could, over the next 5 days, kind of monitor it and see what the banana will look like. And she did a really good job with this one, actually. I was really pleased. And this is kind of how her little lessons go. Sometimes they're really short. Sometimes they're like this, and I can hold her attention for a little while. Sometimes she's down to do like the do-a-dot markers and do little pictures of letters and talk about letter sounds and do little worksheets like that. Sometimes she's excited about math. Sometimes she just plays with the Osmo games that we have for the iPad, but I typically try to wait until after school for that because my boys aren't allowed to have screens until after school and afternoon contributions and morning contributions. So I try not to let screens be on or used by any of us. Obviously, I'm using my phone here to record, but I really try not to have screens on in the house. On this particular day, I did have Croods on the big TV, but we all kind of slept awful last night, and it was just a tough morning. And Sullivan he wasn't interested in playing with his toys. And I was trying to get through that language arts lesson, which can be kind of tricky with my older boys. They don't love language arts, and I never did either. And so when I'm trying to teach them, sometimes I just need the kids out of our hair for a minute, the younger ones. And so I just put on the Croods at a low volume in the living room on this particular day, and it worked out okay. You just got to do your best, you know? So here Dorothy's coloring the banana, and she's telling me about how she thought it tastes, what the texture of the skin was, what the seeds looked like. Actually, yesterday we dissected a banana and we separated it out into peel, flesh, and seeds, and she really had a fun time with that. I think I actually recorded that. Maybe it might have been in one of my last little homeschool lessons or day in lives. So this is just, I'm trying to find a specific page here. I know a lot of you ask what I do with Dorothy, so that's kind of why this clip is a little longer than the rest of the video is. So here she's going to do her prediction on what she thinks the banana will look like, and right away she said, I think it's going to turn a really dark brown, and then she said, actually, I think it's going to turn black. So right now I'm trying to find the colored pencil for her so that she can color it, her prediction, and then we'll go obviously day 1 through 5 and color what it looks like on those days. And, Dorothy turned 5 pretty recently. And so, her work is that of a new 5-year-old. So I accept, I think that that's totally fine. And then I asked her if she wanted to do these letter B do-a-dots, but she was not into it. All right. And then the boys finished up their writing and drawing little exercise in these workbooks by Megan Van Sype. She's our school nest on Instagram. And we're doing our read aloud now, which is Who Was George Washington Carver? After this, and they've already eaten lunch at this point, after this, they will go and do their assigned reading. We usually will do outside time in between lunch and our read aloud. We didn't on this day because they were just eager to finish our day. We typically finish anywhere from noon to 3 or 4, just depending on if we're doing a super involved activity or we're watching a documentary or something. But on this particular day, we were done pretty quick. So they went and did their assigned reading after this, and then they all played outside and then had a little bit of quiet time before finally getting their screens and after finishing up their afternoon contributions, of course. So that's it, you guys. That is kind of a walk through our day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.